Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is February the 11th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a Sunday fun day so far. Let's see. Last night, I wound up going out and that was fun. Did a little Northside hangs, so the usual kind of situation. I went to Darussalam and got some shawarma and fried plantains, and I don't know what they were. Once again, like kind of referencing the fire incident, but they were like kind of like those fritters, except they were just like all bread and kind of like had like a sweetness to them, like almost like sweet savory kind of mixy kind of situation. So it was a good meal. I was well fed. And let's see here. Then I did some grocery shopping today. So yeah, I've been pretty active, in this little cycle of time since we last talked. But yeah, is there anything else to really update you on? No, not really. Let me go ahead and do my startup, and then we'll get into some news. All right. Um, our first story comes from what is this outlet? I'm not sure. It looks like NBC2. Might be mistaken on that, but two dead, three survivors in jet crash on I-75 in Collier County. Let's see here. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA, a Bombardier Challenger 600 jet crashed on I-75 near Naples at around 3:21. Five people were reportedly on board. As of 4:40, the Collier County Sheriff's Office has confirmed two fatalities. Officials said three people survived the crash. On Saturday, CCSGO, or I'm sorry, not CCSGO, CCSO released the names and identities of the five passengers on board. Two people who were killed have been tentatively identified as pilot Edward Daniel Murphy, 50, of Oakland Park, Florida, and second in command Frederick Hoffman, 65, of Pompano Beach, Florida. The three survivors of the crash are crew members Sydney, or the three survivors of the crash are crew members Sydney Ann Bosmans, 27, Jupiter, Florida, and passengers Aaron Baker, 35, and Endura Green, 23, both of Columbus, Ohio. Let's see. And they said like two vehicles, a 2015 Chevrolet Silverado pickup and a 2023 Nissan Armada SUV. I think were kind of uh, damaged. Yeah, they were damaged, but I don't know if anyone was like injured outside of a truck driver who was 48 years old, who suffered minor injuries and was transported to an area hospital. And then the three females in the SUV were not injured, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, the crash definitely seemed really intense. Like looking at the footage, especially when it was like on fire. I think they actually have like a little bit of video of it, but I don't know if it actually happening. Let's see. The jet was approximately 250 feet in the air when it crashed. It did not run out of fuel. Air traffic controller said the fire was from the fuel. The jet was cleared to make an emergency landing and was less than a minute away from landing on the runway when it crashed. In audio, the air traffic control, the pilot can be heard calling an emergency. The pilot said they lost both engines and were 2 miles away from the Naples airport before saying they would not be able to make it. So I mean, still that's very heroic work from the pilot, in the second in command co-pilot, being like, hey, clearly we're in a bad situation, but we got to try to do the best we can to, try to preserve as much life as we can. So I think definitely that is, something to be noted. If there is any more details from this, I'll try to, keep you updated. Sadly, there's, kind of another, aviation disaster from CNN. Nigerian bank CEO and family among 6 people killed in California helicopter crash, officials say. The CEO of a major Nigerian bank, along with his wife and son, were among 6 people killed in a helicopter crash in the Mojave Desert near the California-Nevada border late Friday night. Access Bank chief executive Herbert Wigwe died in the crash. The bank confirmed in a statement on X. Wigwe's wife and son and the former group chairman of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, Mbola Ugambanjo, were also killed in the crash. World Trade Organization Director General Nagazi Okonjo Ilawala said in a post on X. Authorities said both of the helicopter pilots were also killed. The chartered Airbus EC-130 helicopter was flying from Palm Springs to California. Oh, also the flight, it was flying from Ohio to Florida in the other article. Figured I'd mention that while I'm thinking about it. Sorry. Let's see. But it was flying from Palm Springs, California to Boulder City, Nevada, just outside Las Vegas, according to the National Transportation Safety Board member Michael Graham. The aircraft, which was operated by California-based charter company Orbic Air, took off at around 8:45 p.m. PT and crashed just after 10 p.m. near Interstate 15 in Halloran Springs, California. The helicopter caught fire on impact, citing witness reports. Witnesses also reported rain and wintry mix when the crash happened. But they're still not sure exactly what was the cause of it, and I think that's still going to be under investigation. Obviously, this is very devastating. To hear kind of any kind of loss of life like this. I know, you can be like, oh, it's a millionaire, da 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 da, but still, I think it's definitely a tragic thing. And this isn't me trying to add levity, or maybe it is, I don't know. But this definitely still adds to that stacking of I never want to get in a helicopter. Ever since Kobe Bryant died in that thing, I'm just nope, no thank you. There's just no reason for it. You're either in military or you're a well-off person. Because I get, maybe, I don't know what the purpose of this flight was. But yeah, I'm just not trying to get in one. If you're gonna ask me, would you rather get into a Boeing plane or a helicopter? I think I'm actually gonna pick the Boeing. Yeah, they might have a couple of loose screws, but hopefully that gets caught, before we get too high up or something, like the Alaska Air situation. But yeah, I don't know. This is the helicopter thing is not for me. I've been on a plane one time. If I have to get on again, I will. But I'm really not I'm not in a hurry. Okay, you know what I mean. All right. But yes, condolences to the family. It's a cool accomplishment to, get that high up in the business banking world. I'd imagine he made a lot of money. He has a really big net worth. But yeah, shame that you can't really spend that when you're dead. That's for sure. And looks like someone who's trying to stack their bread up a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about old Jeffy B from NPR. Jeff Bezos sells nearly 12 million Amazon shares worth at least $2 billion. That's with a B. Jeff Bezos filed a statement with federal regulators indicating his sale of nearly 12 million shares of Amazon stock worth more than $2 billion. The Amazon executive chairman notified the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission of the sale of 11,997,698 shares of common stock on February 7th and February 8th. The collective value of the shares of Amazon, which is based in Seattle, where he founded the company in a garage about 3 decades ago, was more than $2.04 billion, according to the listed price totals. Now, it's not 100% sure or set in stone like why he's doing it, but it's speculated that he is maybe trying to pump up his net worth right now to catch up or potentially overtake Elon Musk. And I was thinking about this, before I went on, and I was like, oh, that does kind of line up, right? Because maybe he's just been kind of planning this. It's kind of been in the works. But then we also, recently covered about how Elon Musk is going to have to give him back some of his fucking money. And by some, it is a substantial amount. It was part of, I think, that package was part of the thing that kind of put him up and over and, put him into the number one, kind of with the bullet. I kind of just assumed that old Lex Luthor, which is, Jeff Bezos, old Baldy, was just going to be, kind of a quiet loser at that point. Maybe just hang back, be cool, and enjoy his little, new marriage or whatever. He said, nah, fuck that. I'm just waiting in silence, motherfucker. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I know it's lame as hell. I'm not really rooting for either of these motherfuckers, but I definitely dislike Elon Musk more, and this rogues gallery of villains. It's like, yeah, would I rather root for Lex Luthor or super rich Bizarro Man? I'm going to go with old Baldy yet again, so I don't know, but it's whatever. We'll see, I guess, if that's, the reason, if that winds up coming to light or not. Will he catch Elon Musk? Will he overtake him? I don't know. Find out on the next episode of Billionaires E. Anyway, we have one more thing to cover, and then I'll let you go. You know what that means? I'm going to take my last break, and then we'll get into it. Our last story comes from the New York Times, and the reason I didn't get paywalled is because I got it through Yahoo News. So thank you, Yahoo News. The first sign that Tyler Chase, did I read the title of this shit? I don't think I did. My bad. Excuse me. Ashes were given to his family, but he wasn't dead. That's an interesting title, no? The first sign that Tyler Chase got that he might be dead came at a convenience store. He had food stamps, but his benefit card didn't work. The next sign was when he contacted Oregon State officials who told him that a death certificate had been filed in his name. That would be so fucking spooky. Then, weeks later, came the most disturbing development. An urn of ashes had been sent to his family, and it was sitting on in his cousin's closet, In reality, he was very much alive. Chase's life coursed through years of drug use, homelessness, severed family ties, and a bureaucracy that documented his death without his fingerprints or any immediate family present when the body believed to be his was cremated. Obviously, that is the key kind of moment here and, reason why he was literally marked for death, yet he was a living man. But hopefully, we can get to it and I don't get too into the weeds and forget. But he began using methamphetamines as a teenager, and after the death of his mother in 2020, he plunged into a dark period of serious addiction and crime. Then, in January of 2023, he was arrested on several charges, including burglary and drug possession. My life was a mess. Chase, 22, said in a recent phone interview. Eventually, he was released into a transitional housing facility in Portland, Oregon, on the condition that he complete an addiction recovery program by early October when he learned of the death certificate. Chase had been sober 7 months and was looking for work, he said. Which obviously, like, this is just such a terrible fucking jam up. Like, you're trying to get your life together, and then literally you're like, what are you saying? I'm dead. Like, can I just get my food, please? Like, what do you mean? What is this death certificate doing here? Like, please, that's the kind of shit. I'm sorry, but that's the kind of shit that would stress me out into like relapsing. Probably, I don't know. It just, life is already so stressful, and I just couldn't imagine having to go through this kind of thing. But also sorry for the dogs in the background. They're living their lives, and I gotta respect that. Let's see here. But let me go ahead and just read my highlighted portion. Months earlier, another male resident. So yeah, this is him, living in this facility. Months earlier, another male resident of the recovery center had been found dead of a fentanyl overdose, with Chase's wallet presumably stolen. He recalled the examiner telling him. Chase recalled losing his wallet, and he described the other resident as a few years older, shorter, and skinnier, with ginger hair. Chase said that he had tried to persuade the man to stay in the program, but he left. The mix-up of identity occurred because the dead man was carrying Chase's wallet and temporary driver's license. The medical examiner's office confirmed in a statement to KGW8, the NBC affiliate in Portland, in January. So the medical office says that Chase's immediate family had declined to view the body before cremation. And then his father, Toby Keith, said he was never asked. Neither was the rest of his family, Rosales said. And Rosales is his cousin. So essentially, in this kind of lapse, the body gets cremated. Also, mind you, Rosales, I believe, and I guess like the family, friends, whatever, had to, get the money together, about $1,000 to do the cremation. They have this. And then next thing you know, fast forward a bit, she winds up being on a FaceTime call with her cousin, which is, Tyler Chase. Hey, I'm alive, So, I mean, that's great news. Obviously, that is the good news, I guess you can say, for the day. But obviously, this is bittersweet because, this whole process, someone, did die. And they were essentially just kind of said, oh, well, this is that person. And I mean, you could say, quote unquote, due diligence was done here by the authorities and the people in charge of the body and things of that nature. I would say it's kind of lacking. That they do kind of defend themselves and saying, hey, like, this is a very rare occurrence. Like, I think the head examiner or whatever was like, yeah, J. Keith Pinkard, a president of the National Association of Medical Examiners, said in an email that misidentification of the dead was quite rare and that he had only come across only 1 or 2 cases in his career. I am not aware of any patterns that may exist. So hopefully he's right in that regard. But still, anytime this happens, this would be something that stops traffic. I did want to kind of close on a quote from Rosales. She said, I had the ashes of someone's child, and they didn't even know that their loved one was dead, Rosales said. That's what really saddens me about the situation, she added. They just treat them like they're no one. And I just feel like it's just a common thing whenever you kind of talk about like any kind of true crime situation or just you're looking at society at large, that like the concept of less dead people is just, it's a constant, and it's so sad and it's so heartbreaking. And she's right. Like, this was a person who literally fell through the cracks, is lost in the void here. And, life continues and moves on for everyone else. But like, sadly, like, I don't know. They don't have any details about what happened to the other person. Like in terms of like their family getting notified and things like that. But, we kind of have to assume that they aren't, and this is just the only kind of closure or solace is kind of that someone, hey, that they got you cremated and paid for that. But yeah, I don't know. I know I'm kind of ending it in kind of a weird, bittersweet, solemn way. Sorry about that. But that's the episode. That'll do it for this week. Whew. It's been a crazy week. Been a fun week. Had lots of laughs. Been really great. Um, Hopefully you've enjoyed tuning in, and thank you so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye bye.